Oil and energy. If you control fuel, you control movement, and movement is the backbone of modern civilization. Modern economies run on energy, transportation, manufacturing, aviation, shipping, electricity grids. All of it depends on stable energy supply. That dependency creates leverage, and leverage creates billionaires. Historically, oil has been the most concentrated wealth engine in the world, from John D. Rockefeller building Standard Oil into a near monopoly, to Middle Eastern royal families controlling national oil reserves, to modern energy giants operating across continents. The pattern is consistent. Energy scales globally. Oil billionaires don't just sell gasoline, they sell access to mobility. They operate at a level where contracts are signed with governments, not consumers. Margins compound because the entire system depends on supply continuity. Even as the world shifts toward renewables, the logic remains. Solar, wind, battery storage, nuclear, whoever owns infrastructure owns dependency. Energy wealth isn't flashy, it's structural, and structural wealth lasts. Technology. The only industry where code can become capital overnight. Unlike oil, tech doesn't require physical scarcity. It requires scalability. Software can be built once and sold infinitely. That's the multiplier. Modern tech billionaires didn't just build products, they built platforms. Platforms create ecosystems. Ecosystems create lock-in. Bill Gates monetized operating systems. Jeff Bezos built logistics and data infrastructure under the surface of e-commerce. Elon Musk leverages hardware, software, and network effects simultaneously. Technology billionaires often control distribution channels, user data, cloud infrastructure, digital marketplaces. The cost to replicate physical infrastructure is enormous. The cost to scale software is marginal. That asymmetry is why tech creates wealth faster than almost any other industry. Technology doesn't just sell tools, it rewires how the world operates. Finance. Money making money. Finance billionaires don't build physical goods. They build capital allocation machines. Hedge funds, private equity firms, investment banks, these institutions sit between capital and opportunity. They decide where money flows, and when you control capital flow, you control leverage. Warren Buffett built Berkshire Hathaway by acquiring undervalued businesses and holding them long-term. Ray Dalio scaled a hedge fund through macro positioning. Private equity firms acquire companies, restructure them, and sell them at scale. Finance wealth compounds because it's built on percentage extraction. A 2% management fee on billions is stable. A 20% performance fee on massive gains is exponential. Unlike product industries, finance doesn't depend on selling to consumers. It depends on trust, reputation, and access. Finance is quiet power, and quiet power accumulates. Real estate. Land is finite. Demand isn't. Property has created billionaires for centuries because land cannot be manufactured. Location drives value. Urban density multiplies it. Real estate wealth works through leverage. Developers borrow capital, build assets, refinance at higher valuations, and scale portfolios. Donald Bren built wealth by controlling large-scale property development. Global property magnates in cities like Hong Kong, London, and New York built empires on scarcity and zoning control. Real estate billionaires don't just own buildings, they own rent streams, recurring income from controlled geography. Unlike volatile markets, land appreciates with population growth and economic expansion. You don't need innovation, you need control of space. And space always matters. Manufacturing. the quiet backbone of physical economies. Manufacturing billionaires rarely dominate headlines, but they control production capacity. Steel, automotive, industrial equipment, consumer goods. Manufacturing wealth is built on scale efficiency. The more units produced, the lower the cost per unit. That advantage compounds. Henry Ford revolutionized assembly lines. Modern industrial billionaires optimize supply chains across continents. Manufacturing requires capital intensity, factories, equipment, logistics networks. But once scale is achieved, barriers to entry are high. Competitors cannot replicate infrastructure easily. Manufacturing wealth isn't glamorous. It's durable. If you control production, you control supply. Mining and commodities. Control the raw materials, control the foundation. Gold, copper, lithium, iron ore, rare earth metals, these inputs are required before any finished product exists. Commodity billionaires operate upstream. They extract, refine, and sell to industries downstream. Mining wealth often follows cycles. Commodity prices fluctuate, but when global demand spikes, infrastructure booms, technological shifts, energy transitions, commodity owners capture outsized gains. Lithium wealth rose with electric vehicle adoption. Copper wealth expands with electrification. Mining isn't about branding, it's about ownership of extraction rights. If the ground contains value and you control the ground, you control scarcity. Scarcity always commands price. Retail and e-commerce, distribution at scale. Retail billionaires don't necessarily manufacture products, they control access to customers. Traditional retail empires built wealth through logistics dominance and supply chain negotiation. Modern e-commerce magnifies that model digitally. Jeff Bezos built Amazon not just as a store, but as an infrastructure layer for commerce. Alibaba replicated similar scale in Asia. Retail wealth emerges from volume. Thin margins multiplied across millions of transactions. Control customer attention. Control marketplace algorithms. Control fulfillment networks. Retail billionaires win by becoming inevitable intermediaries. They don't own everything sold, they own the transaction flow. Luxury and fashion, perception, monetized. Luxury billionaires operate in a different dimension. They sell status. Bernard Arnault built LVMH into a global portfolio of brands that command price premiums based on identity and heritage. Luxury goods are not priced on cost, they are priced on positioning. Margins in luxury are often significantly higher than mass market goods. Scarcity is curated. Distribution is controlled. Branding is protected aggressively. Luxury wealth depends on maintaining desire across generations. If customers are willing to pay 10x for the same function, the profit differential is enormous. Luxury doesn't compete on necessity. It competes on aspiration. Aspiration is powerful. Media and entertainment. Influence converted into capital. Media billionaires control narratives, distribution channels, or intellectual property. Film studios, streaming platforms, sports franchises, music catalogs. These assets generate recurring revenue streams tied to attention. Rupert Murdoch built media influence across continents. Modern streaming platforms monetize subscriptions globally. Content scales once created. Intellectual property compounds through licensing, merchandising, and adaptation. Media wealth isn't just about profit. It's about cultural leverage. Influence drives advertising revenue. Influence shapes markets. Control attention, and you monetize the audience. Pharmaceuticals and biotech. Control health, control longevity. Few industries combine high risk and extreme reward like biotech. Drug development is capital intensive and uncertain, but a successful patented drug can generate billions in revenue annually. Pharma billionaires often emerge from ownership of breakthrough treatments or biotech innovations. Patents create temporary monopolies. Insurance systems and healthcare infrastructure guarantee demand. Unlike consumer industries, pharmaceutical demand is often non-optional. If a product extends life or treats disease, pricing power increases. Biotech wealth is built on intellectual property and regulatory barriers. Health is universal. Scarcity of treatment creates leverage. Industries don't create billionaires, leverage does. Energy leverages dependency. Technology leverages scale. Finance leverages capital. Real estate leverages scarcity. Manufacturing leverages production. Mining leverages resources. Retail leverages distribution. Luxury leverages desire. Media leverages attention. Pharmaceuticals leverage necessity. Different industries, same principle. Extreme wealth concentrates where systems allow control at scale, and scale hides in plain sight.